What's going on, guys? Today's video, I got a little bit of a story for you guys, but I'm gonna have to explain it backwards because this week has just been wild. So many crazy things have happened, but I should have grabbed the camera and filmed this along the way, but I really wasn't sure what the outcome of it was going to be. When I went to go pick this thing up in the first place, I didn't necessarily plan on buying it, but it just happened. But let me explain in a second what went on. But I bought a Seadoo. Maybe I'll just tell the story before I spin it around and show you guys it. The guy claimed that he wanted, like, I think he had it for $2,000 or something like that. Said that it needed some sort of tuning, didn't speak really good English, so I wasn't sure what he was talking about. So I went over there with some tools, went to the place. He said, you know, it starts and cranks and stuff, but just needed a tune-up or something. So I was like, all right, whatever. It's a 2000 Seadoo XP Limited, so it's got almost 1,000cc engine, like 951 cc's, two-stroke. And I got there, he said it had a brand new battery. Battery was dead as a doorknob, had like corrosion on the terminal, so I was like, well, dude, this isn't a new battery. Anyways, we had to like put jumper cables on it. Then even with the jumper cables on it attached to like a car battery, it still wouldn't even crank, and the starter motor would just, you know, kind of sputter and barely turn over, but the engine wasn't locked up and stuff. So anyways, it came with a trailer. I took a gamble on it. I still don't know how, you know, what the situation is on it, but it's a decent looking machine, I feel like, at least for its age. So it's the year 2000, and I got it for $950 with the trailer. So I think it's a pretty good deal. I don't think I can go wrong, but you're gonna see it right now. And here it is, boys. So this is a 2000 Seadoo XP Limited. It's probably seen better days, but it's, for a 22-year-old machine, it actually doesn't look half bad. So you're gonna probably ask, why the heck is it sitting on your lawn, John? There's another story, and I'll have to get into it in the next video, but I ended up picking up another Seadoo for a totally different reason, which you guys will have to wait till the next video to understand that. But this one came on a trailer, but the other one that I bought didn't have a trailer. So in a frenzy to go pick up this other deal that I picked up, I just dumped this one on the lawn. So I'm gonna see if I can scoot it over, and I already moved it over a couple feet by myself, and I put it on the lawn by myself, but it was sitting right here, and I managed to kind of catwalk it over here. And I'm gonna try and see if I can throw it onto these dollies so I can roll it in here, show you guys what stuff it needs, get into some stuff today on it, and see what we can accomplish today. So you guys get to watch me try to struggle to get it onto these dollies. I don't even know if it's gonna work, but we'll find out. Let me see what I can do. All right, so I managed to get on these two little dollies. That was a mission, but it's not like the hull is like immaculate or anything. Probably could use, if you wanted to have it perfect, have the bottom, you know, re-gel coated and all that stuff. So, and I'm not just saying that. If you guys really want to look, she's got some battle wounds, so not too concerned. If this is a brand new jet ski, I definitely wouldn't have done what I just did, but either way, she's in here so that I am not baking out in that sun to work on this thing. So let me show you guys what we're dealing with. So it's got this seat. I'm probably gonna get a new cover if the mechanical aspects of this thing do work, Then I'm gonna get a new seat cover. It's not that expensive. You can get a new seat cover for like 60 to 80 bucks off eBay. So I'll get that, and then we'll reupholster it. It's just held on by staples. I did a lot of motocross seats back in my day, so that one's not gonna be that bad. It's missing this grab handle, but I ordered it and it just showed up today. I haven't washed this thing, which I do want to do as well at some point, because I know I can get this thing looking way better than what it is, even though it looks pretty decent on camera. Like, it's still kind of dirty and stuff, and I know I can get a lot of this out. Somebody tried to put motocross grips on it, because if you guys do or don't know, like, you can't just throw on regular grips like this. It has to be like Seadoo or ATV grips, because motocross grips, they're bigger on the throttle side for the twist throttle, because there's a plastic sleeve that goes on, so that's why this one just falls off. and then this one is tight. So somebody didn't know what they were doing there, but I actually have the grips, I have the handle that showed up. And then let me pop the hood and show you guys what's going on in here. I actually have these two trim pieces. There's two yellow pieces that go here. Those are on their way, so they were cheap. They're like 15, 20 bucks each. So they're missing on both sides, so we'll get those. And I have a new starter motor. So the new starter motor showed up, so I'm gonna try to tackle that. It's got no battery. Well, actually it came with the battery, but the battery is dead. I tried to put it on a trickle charger and that thing was just roasted. So let me pop the hood on it though. Look at that, we probably got $100 in accessories. We've got a flare gun, a rope, air horn, a whistle, and an anchor. So got a little bit of tools. We'll take this out, this little tray, set this off to the side. So here she is, boys, 951cc. The guy said that he took the carbs out and he sent them off to get rebuilt. And then he said he couldn't remember how to hook everything up, so he gave up on the project. So there's like just a couple lines, like 2 lines really. So we've got like this hose here that he didn't know what to do with. Well, I guess there's 3, 1, 2, and 3. And he wasn't sure where he took them off from. And I, off the top of my head, don't know where they go either, so it makes 2 of us. You will notice that somebody deleted the oil injection, so that was another thing I asked him about, and he said it's premix. So somebody has converted this to premix. Obviously the tank is gone, so we have to mix our oil in the fuel, which it doesn't bother me so much, but it's what it is. If you try to crank it right now, it doesn't really crank. It just kind of sputters, but it's got compression. I got the plugs back in it, but before I was able to turn this over very, very easily. So I have to go through this thing, see what kind of nonsense is going on with it, but I got the starter motor over there on the bench. So let's tackle some stuff. I don't know how buried the starter is on this. I imagine it's not going to be fun. Let me find it. I haven't even researched where it is, but it's going to be either on the bottom there or here, and should be a whole lot of fun to get to. Holy crap, you guys. I swear stuff that should be so simple is just turning into be nightmares for me these days. So starter motor, I didn't really film me trying to take it out because it is below those carburetors. Like it is, I'm like having to bear hug the engine to get in there. Got the bolts out, and then I went to pop out the starter, and of course the starter being aluminum and it looks like it's original, I'll show it to you in a second, but it decided to come out without the snout on it. So the snout cracked off of the starter and is stuck inside the bottom end. So I guess I'm gonna have to dig into this thing. I'll probably have to take off this pipe, take off the carburetors, and try to see how I can extract that piece that's stuck in there. So something that could be easy obviously is not. So let me continue and I'll show you guys where I end up. So there's the starter motor. It's definitely seen better days. I can't even rotate this thing, so even though it was turning over the engine slowly, like I can't even spin the thing. So, but that's what I'm talking about. So the freaking snout snapped off inside. It was stuck in there, and when I went to pry it, it just went bink like that. So let me dig into this, you guys. I'm gonna take off the pipe. I guess I'm gonna move the carbs out of the way, and I don't know how the heck I'm gonna get that out of it, but I gotta do it, so let me get wrenching. Okay guys, so that definitely escalated quickly. By the time I took the carburetors off and the pipe off, then this is what I was trying to get to. It was so far down in the hull, and I already had everything pretty much disconnected. There was a couple more connectors, and the engine was only held in by 3 bolts. So there's only 3 engine mounts, so I took out the 3 bolts and then just lifted the whole engine out. So I figured I could mess with it on the bench. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm gonna have a better opportunity at removing this from the backside. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know, I think there's this lip. I might try to see if I can get underneath this lip. If I can't, then I'm gonna take this cover off and then I'll just pound it back out through the backside. And the reason why I guess I might as well take the cover off anyways, because I wanted to, somebody I think I was mentioning has converted this to from oil injection to having premix, and they still have the oil pump on the front. So I did a little bit of research. There's like a block off plate, or you can just leave this pump intact. So I want to see what's going on behind, because you kind of have to do some certain things, if you're going to convert to premix, so I just want to check. One good thing actually though, if there's a positive outlook on this whole thing, I saw that it has SBT sticker on it, and the top end, these cylinders look very, very new. So what that means is this has a fresh top end on it at bare minimum. So it might even have bottom end, but at least the top end has been recently serviced. So this thing should be a runner once we get it back working, but obviously a little bit sidetracked with this. Okay, so we're making some progress. Glad I took that off too, because it kind of just gave me some reassurance. So there's the center of the oil pump drive. So you can see they're just using it just to fill the hole. So there is a block off plate you can buy, but I just want to make sure that there wasn't any mechanism back here that was still spinning our oil pump, because apparently if you spin that oil pump, the oil pump could technically lock up without any oil going through it. So we're getting a bit of movement. I'm able to get a punch through here to get to the back side of that stupid thing. I actually hammered it inwards just to, since it was easy to swing a hammer here, just to try to get it to free up. So I got it to move. Now I just got to get it to move that way. All right, so it came off, you guys. So a lot more work than needed, but that was the piece that I said literally just snapped off of this old starter. This thing is a million years old, so we're gonna get that new starter in there. I'm gonna clean up that hole first for sure, clean up our surfaces a little bit, make sure we have a good seal, and we'll slap this thing back together. I'm excited. All right, so I've just been messing with some stuff. I actually went to the automotive store and I got some fuel line because I needed a little bit, because they had some junky stuff on here and they actually had stuff hooked up in completely wrong places. The other thing is this hole was completely stripped out and there was no bolt on it. I'm also missing, there's 4 bolts that hold the carb on, these ones here, and there's one missing. So I just double checked, make sure they didn't booger up the threads or something. So luckily the threads seem okay, but the thread on this one, on this missing bolt, I'm just re-threading it. So I got a tap on here, and it looks like we're gonna be okay on the thread portion of it. Like I said, somebody definitely boogered that one up. Threads are good there. I gotta order one of those bolts because it's a really weird metric long bolt, so I don't think I can find one of these at the store. I'll take a look tomorrow, but probably just easier to order one online because it's stainless as well, because you don't want it to rust. So should be able to get this in here. So I'm going to put the starter motor back on after I finish this. I'm going to throw the engine back in, and we should be able to see if she works hopefully today. Okay, so I've just been cranking this thing just to make sure, and it's got 130 psi, so we're good on pressure. So that's the one cylinder. Boom, 130 on this one. So she's good on compression, boys, so that's good. It's full of freaking gas, so whatever weird way this guy hooked up the lines, it completely like flooded this engine, or unless he was just trying to start it repeatedly, but it's like full of gas. So glad I pumped it out. It was shooting like I'm like full of all these rags full of fuel. So should be ready to go. So she obviously cranks over, so we'll get it in the boat and hook everything up. Hopefully we'll be on our way to some Seadooing. All right, well, I stayed up late working on this thing. It's just about midnight now, but I got the engine back in. Everything went back in smoothly. I was gonna fire it, but I'll probably wait till tomorrow just so we're not making a racket. But there's one line that I can't figure out. They did some sort of rerouting. From the diagrams I looked at, this goes off it comes off the kind of crank in the middle there, and it comes off the center of the block, and I believe it's supposed to run to the back. It almost looks like it's long enough to, and it's supposed to go to a port back there, but I don't know why it's just chilling up here. So everything else is connected according to the diagram. Just this one allegedly is supposed to go out the back of the jet ski, but I don't know why it's over here. I definitely didn't pull it all the way up here. So only thing I can think of is somebody yanked it out from back there. So I might have to do some digging back there. But other thing too is I got to try to find some sort of, I want to get the fuel to this thing. It has almost a full tank of gas in it. And I'm sure the gas is old, and I'm not really sure what's in it at this point. So, and it's got a weird neck on it. So I don't want to sit there and, you know, be jiggling out that much fuel. I might see if I can get like an electronic transfer, like a fluid transfer pump. So we'll see what happens there. But so far so good. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed. I'll probably try to fire it tomorrow. I might even just try to fire it on the old gas, see what happens, and we'll see where we're at. All right, so it's the next day. I drained quite a bit of fuel out of it. There's just a little bit of it, but it doesn't smell all that bad, so should be okay. I just want to see, I guess, if it'll fire. I still gotta figure out where that one line goes through. It's so crammed in the back here. I've been trying to get up and in here, and I disassembled the whole rear trying to figure out where that line goes through. I thought somebody installed an aftermarket bilge pump, but then I came to find out that the 99 or 98, this is a 2000, but either way, they started installing these factory bilge pumps. So that bilge is actually factory, but according to everything that I can find, that port and that line, this one right here, comes off the engine there. It's supposed to go out the rear, but for some reason it was dangling in the front. So I gotta try to dig back here and see if I can find an empty port or something that's capped off or something weird. But either way, let's see if she will fire. I'm not gonna run it for long. I'm literally just gonna hit it. Hopefully if it fires, run it for 5 seconds, and then we'll shut it off. But that's about all I want to check. Let's see. Does not sound like proper turnover. I'm wondering if we don't have a good ground. All right, so I went ahead and I picked up a brand new battery, and now she cranks over real quick. Well, is this thing gonna start, you guys? This has been a long episode. Is it ready to start? You'll have to wait till next episode. See you guys in the next one.